Do opposites really attract, or do our personalities and temperaments quietly decide who we fall for and how we love? Hi, I'm Michelle Troutman from myjourneytolove.com. In this video, based on one of my blog posts, we'll explore how your personality and temperament shape how you date and love, and how to show up more authentically. For example, some of us want to talk things out after a fight, others need space. These differences reflect our personality and temperament, how we think, feel, and behave, and how we react, and therefore show affection. For example, a child with a cautious temperament might grow into a thoughtful, empathetic adult, or if they're raised by judgmental parents, become anxious and withdrawn. Do you find yourself recharging alone after a date or planning the next one right away? Our basic temperaments can be extroverted, introverted, or a mix of both, ambiverted. Generally speaking, extroverts can crave stimulation while introverts need downtime to recharge. Hormones and neurotransmitters like dopamine and oxytocin affect our temperaments, including how we act on dates and show love. Personality frameworks from the Four Temperaments and love languages attempt to explain how we react and behave around others. They also give a broader view of our personality traits. Let's take a look. The Four Temperaments. The ancient Greek medical theory of humors, bodily fluids, suggests one style shapes our actions. Sanguine, sociable, and enthusiastic. These people often seek new experiences in relationships. Choleric, goal-oriented and assertive, taking charge in partnerships. Melancholic, thoughtful and analytical, valuing deep emotional bonds. Phlegmatic, calm and dependable, preferring peace and stability. While not scientifically grounded, these patterns echo modern ideas. Thrill seekers often reflect sanguine choleric traits. Those who prefer routine align more with melancholic, phlegmatic types. While ancient thinkers tried to bottle human behavior into four humors, today's temperament models are more sophisticated, but they all aim to answer the question, why do we act the way we do in love? Based on the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI, David Keirsey adapted the four temperaments to modern personality types with his Keirsey temperament disorder. And another temperament model is highly sensitive people. In her 1996 book, The Highly Sensitive Person, Dr. Elaine Aron introduced the concept of highly sensitive people, or HSPs. HSPs, about 15 or 20% of the population, feel more deeply and process emotions more intensely, often experiencing emotional highs and lows more strongly. The acronym DOES sums up their traits. Depth of processing, overstimulation, emotional responsiveness or empathy, and sensitivity to subtleties. Love can feel more intense for HSPs. Both joyful and painful moments leave deeper imprints. A fleeting rejection might echo for years, while moments of connection can feel life-changing. You can assess whether you're highly sensitive through taking Dr. Aron's self-test. The link is available on my blog at myjourneytolove.com. I scored a 5, a borderline HSP. I might not be a true HSP, but I'm sensitive to noise and others' emotions. In my dating journey, I can lean into my ability to empathize with others and my sensitivity to my environment. In 1973, psychologist John Lee introduced his color wheel theory. 6 love styles that explore our emotional tone and why we love the way we do. In the 1980s, Clyde and Susan Hendrick of Texas Tech University expanded on this theory through the love attitude scale. They found that male students leaned toward the Ludus style, while female students were more storgic and pragmatic. As people age, many shift from playful to practical or friendship-based love. What's your love style? Links to some tests are available on my blog. In his 1992 book, The 5 Love Languages, Dr. Gary Chapman defined ways people give and receive love. Words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. When partners speak different languages, they can feel disconnected. Though it's been widely adopted, some critics say this framework oversimplifies how love works across diverse relationships. But it can clarify what you and your partner value. At my blog, you'll find a link to Gary Chapman's Love Language Quiz. Personality tests can offer insights into ourselves, helping us determine which hobbies, career fields, or even romantic partners can be ideal. For instance, people often list their Myers-Briggs Type Indicator (MBTI) on their dating profiles. The MBTI and the Enneagram are among the most popular personality systems. What is the MBTI? The MBTI is a self-reported personality test that sorts people into 16 different types based on 4 key preferences. These 4 preferences combine to form your type. Each letter represents one preference in a pair. For example, E or I, extroversion or introversion. S or N, sensing or intuition. T or F, thinking or feeling. J or P, judging or perceiving. So someone with preferences for extroversion, sensing, feeling, or judging would be labeled ESFJ. A person who favors introversion, intuition, thinking, or perceiving is INTP. Based on psychologist Carl Jung's ideas, it offers insight into how we behave. However, critics note it oversimplifies complex traits, and the results can vary on retests. You can find links to the official MBTI test, which you can take for a small fee, or free ones on my blog at myjourneytolove.com. My results for the IDR Labs and Jung Typology tests didn't surprise me. Over the years, I've tested as INFJ, ISFJ, or INFP, all introverted or feeling-oriented types. The Enneagram sorts people into 9 types, each driven by core fears and desires. Some people believe certain types pair more easily than others, but true compatibility often depends on shared values, communication, and growth, not just matching numbers. By the 2000s, self-help books and coaches popularized relationship compatibility charts, often based on claims that certain types balance or challenge each other, like a Type 2 helper and a Type 8 challenger. Personal growth, communication, and emotional intelligence can determine relationship success more than type pairings. A 2015 study found that people with at least one securely attached partner reported greater happiness, while Enneagram type pairings had no major effect. Other research shows certain combinations occur more often than chance, like female 8s marrying male 9s. Same-type marriages were rare, except for double 4-type unions. Men and women often choose different types for partners, with common pairings like male 9s and female 4s. Some experts emphasize any 2 types can work well together if they're self-aware and committed to personal development. To take some free Enneagram tests that can serve as helpful starting points, visit the blog at myjourneytolove.com. My test results showed I'm a Type 1. But don't tell me 1 is the loneliest number, though it does seem apt. Integrity is important to me. I'm into self-improvement, but not fixing others, who often must learn from their mistakes. Our personalities and temperaments influence how we experience love, but they don't have to dictate our futures, nor do we need to use labels to define us. Knowing ourselves and our types helps us learn more about ourselves, including who we're compatible with and the traits to emphasize to date authentically. What have you learned about your personality and temperament? Which traits will you use as your superpowers in authentic dating? Please share in the comments. In a future video, we'll examine the cultural influences on our love maps. For more in-depth insights, visit myjourneytolove.com to take the test and explore your dating patterns more deeply, and check out my blog. And if you're curious whether past patterns still guide your love life, or if you're dating in disguise, take my free test to find out. The links are in the video description.